What was all the fuss about? Having spent 25 years trying and failing to get back to the Champions League semifinals, Paris Saint-Germain's progress to a first Champions League final was remarkably serene. It dominated from the opening whistle, took the lead after 12 minutes and never looked back, eventually seeing off RB Leipzig by an emphatic 3-0 score. After all the near misses, all the collapses, all the frustration, all the money that has been spent since the Qatari takeover of 2011, at last PSG is within one game of emerging victorious from the competition it is so desperate to win. Either Bayern Munich or Lyon will stand in its way in Sunday's final at Benfica's Estadio da Luz. Often in the past, PSG has resembled a collection of stars in search of a constellation, lots of talent but not much organization. That has changed under manager Thomas Tuchel, who again watched on from his cooler, seated with his leg in a protective plastic boot. This is a much more functional midfield than PSG used to have, with under Hererra and Leandro Paredes flanking Marquinhos and, in the first half particularly, there was pressing from the front three. That, certainly, hasn't always been the case. Neymar had already hit the post and Kylian Mbappe had a goal ruled out when Marquinhos glanced in Angel Di Maria's perfectly delivered free kick after 12 minutes. Julian Nagelsmann, who was introduced to coaching by Thomas Tuchel during their time at Augsburg, switched to a back four, presumably for defensive security, but the early effect was to introduce a bizarre lethargy. The pressing that usually characterizes Leipzig's play was missing, and PSG frolicked in the spaces between the lines. Again and again, PSG exploited space behind Dayot Upamecano. And again Leipzig keeper Peter Gulacsi fluffed his kick when playing out from the back. Twice he got away with it, but not the third time. Marquinhos intercepted and pinged a pass at Neymar, who flicked the ball with the inside of his heel to Di Maria. The Argentine winger finished calmly to make it 2-0. Leipzig, having looked so unflustered against Atletico Madrid, made a series of individual errors. Perhaps that was in part a result of the PSG press, but it also seemed that a number of players lost their nerve on the big occasion. And that, perhaps, is the downside of an approach so heavily predicated on youth. Of the outfielder players, only Kevin Kampl was older than 26, there isn't a lot of experience there to fall back upon in a tough spot on a big stage. At the same time, with Mbappe back from injury and Di Maria returned from suspension, PSG was far more dangerous going forward than it had been against Atalanta, when Neymar too often was left to orchestrate everything. Di Maria, in particular, was hugely effective, with 2 assists and his goal.